Hey, what's up? I'm Jax Jones. My song with Bebe Rexha is called Harder, and this is my most requested live Ask Me Anything. Shout out to my guy Romeo for having me on tonight to answer your questions. So the first question is from Maddie from Amarillo. She said, I love your collaboration with Bebe so much. I was wondering what was the story behind writing Harder and also who contacted who first. So it starts in Madrid about 3 years ago, where I met Bebe at a festival. We caught up backstage. She just had her song with Martin Garrix, and I had my song with Ray, You Don't Know Me. So it was big time for both of us, and we were big fans of each other. So we wanted to make a track. We exchanged contacts. Fast forward 3 years later, I'm in the studio with Steve Mack and Camille Purcell. We wrote Harder that day, and it was a different kind of song for me about female empowerment in the bedroom and in a relationship. So we need someone with the right level of sass and attitude to carry this song off. So I reached out to Bebe, and it was a great honor that she loved the song because she's an amazing songwriter herself. And she flew to London to cut the vocal. Next question. Parker from Brantford CT. He asked, what is your favorite song off the Snacks album? My favorite song on Snacks Supersize, my album, can't believe it, is Cruel, which is like a deep club banger. I love playing it in my DJ sets and it just goes off. And probably the other one on there is Instruction with Demi Lovato, because it's just become such a big song in my live show as well. And it's probably the most different record on there, with the kind of Brazilian vibe that we got going on with the drums. And obviously I got Demi to sing in patois when she goes, wind up your bumper, pull up your waist, like achievement, life complete. Elizabeth from Rockford asked me, what could you give a 40-minute presentation on with absolutely no preparation? I could probably I'm pretty good at like motivational talks and stuff. So I could probably do a motivational, positive speaking presentation about empowering yourself in your life and, achieving your goals. I could help you with that. Hit me up if you need help with achieving your goals. I could write you a presentation. Jay from Buffalo, New York asked me, what important piece of advice would you have given to your younger self? I would say to my younger self, keep doing what you're doing. Always give 100% to every situation, even if you're not sure, what the outcome is, as long as it's a positive situation. And also just keep honing your craft, young man. You're going to be great. Alex from Tampa, Florida asked me, did working with Bebe make it harder or easier? Hey, I see what you did there. Working with Bebe is easy and hard because she's a real perfectionist, and really focused about what her creative vision is. So she was as involved with everything we did, from the video to the artwork and all that stuff. So that makes it tough because there's always someone pushing you, and you got to make sure that she loves it as well as myself. But that also made it easier because it means there's someone else to work with that I trust and who I know is just got a dope eye for everything. So yeah, double-edged sword in that. Charlene from Toronto asked, who was the artist who drew all of the Harder artwork? The very talented guy is someone called Guy Pittard, who we've worked with since the beginning of Jax Jones. He's my right-hand man. Big up Guy Pittard. He just got married. Well, May from Detroit has asked, what is your favorite breed of dog? My favorite breed of dog is a husky. And not because of Game of Thrones. Everyone's getting the wolf now because of Game of Thrones. My wife has a husky back home, and he's a legend. His name's Smirnoff, and he goes running with us. He does everything with us, and also loves bacon sandwiches. Colt from Nashville asked, how did you get involved with Tovlo on the new song Jacques? So again, a really cool story. Tovlo, one of Tovlo's favorite songs is Housework, one of my first club songs. And she invited me to play at her birthday party, and that's how we started talking. And I'm a big fan of Tovlo, obviously, from way back. She's one of my favorite songwriters. So we finally got together in the studio about a year ago, and we wrote Jacques, you know, a song about Tovlo's one night encounter with a Frenchman. What a guy. Ashley from NYC says, are there times when you feel like you miss being in London, or are you happier on the road touring? Touring is cool because I love connecting with my fans. I love playing music and just dancing and having a great time. But then the hard part of touring is the traveling. So for sure, I miss London, although I love checking out other cultures and trying different food and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm a homebody as well. So getting home is always a plus. But the more you're away, the more you love getting home. So it goes hand in hand. So, Ava from Philadelphia asked, how do you pronounce your real first name? Does anyone call you that anymore? Yeah, so for those who don't know, my name is Timochin. My middle name is Gongwa. I'm Turkish and Chinese, so Timochin is Turkish, and Gongwa is obviously Chinese, like Gongwa. So, no one really calls me Timochin. My nickname amongst my friends is Tims, so that's Tim with a Z or Z. And the reason why is when I was in school, when the teachers would call out the register to check attendance, they would always stop on my name. So, because they couldn't pronounce it. So nowadays I just go by Tims. I only give Timochin when I'm trying to be more of an adult, but no one really calls me that, to be honest with you. Claudia from Mill Creek asked, will you marry me? Unfortunately, love, I'm already taken. Maybe, as Erykah Badu says, in another lifetime. As long as you got good teeth and all the body parts are intact and stuff, we don't want to have a nice gene pool when we have babies and stuff. Terry from Columbus said, what's your favorite snack? My favorite snack is I would say, okay, so there's a little known delight from the UK called the pork pie. If you know about the pork pie, you're a real G. Also, I love cheese. Gruyere cheese, Comte cheese, and there's a new one that we're doing called Tête Lemon, which is like a breakfast Swiss cheese. Banging. Okay. Ellie from San Diego says, how did you meet your wife? Is she usually the first person you play your new music for? Long story short, I used to be in a band, and the band was okay. We were signed to Atlantic Records, and then we got dropped. But on one of our last performances, my wife and I were introduced, and we went on a date. The first thing she said, I used to have a nose piercing in my nose, and she was drunk, and then she just comes up to me and says, oi, that nose piercing looks terrible, take it out. And that was the first thing she ever said to me. Next thing you know, we're married, so good times. Not that night, 3 years later, she's, she had other guys that, and yeah, she's the first person I play my music to. I might have loads of sick songs, but basically if she doesn't like it, it probably won't ever come out. So basically that might be a good thing or a bad thing, but so far it's been a good thing. Music playing usually occurs before bed or in the morning. Maya from Chicago asked, what was the first song you released? My very first song that I ever had be successful was a song that I wrote for the Vamps with Bruno Mars called Can We Dance? And then the first song that I ever released as Jax Jones was I Got You with Duke Dumont, which ended up being nominated for a Grammy. and a Brit Award. I went #1 in the UK. Like, yeah, it was crazy. I still haven't won a Grammy yet. You know, it's a bit long. Samantha from Minneapolis asked me, what was the first venue you played as Jax Jones? My first ever show was, I think it was in Ibiza in Spain. I warmed up for Duke Dumont in this club called Sankey's. I was really nervous, and he complained that I played too many big tracks, so it wasn't really a warm-up set. But yeah, you live and you learn. Now, you know, I've played in front of thousands of people. I can say that I know how to do a warm-up set now. I've achieved. Sarah from how do you say this? Sarah from Tempe. She asked though, how do you manage your time between making music, touring, and having a home life? This is the daily struggle, trying to manage all of that. You know, when I'm doing more music, I feel guilty that I'm not touring. When I'm doing both music and touring, I feel guilty that my home life is suffering. So yeah, it's long. But I just try to just focus on doing one thing at a time and doing it well, and, you know, not being too hard on myself, you know. But basically, I try to just make small progress every day on each thing. So as long as you're working on every single one each day, then it's all good. So while I'm touring, I'm making music. While I'm making music, I'm thinking about touring. And then when all of that, I'm being good at home. If it means bringing flowers for my wife while I'm away, hey, then yeah, that's how we do it. Laura from Chattanooga asked me what my favorite swear word or phrase is. I love swearing, but I don't know if I can swear on this show. So my favorite phrase is probably it's calm, or which is like a London slang for like everything's cool. Or what else would I say? I like saying fire a lot. I like saying everything's fire. I don't know, I've noticed I probably say that about 150 times a day. Lita from Chicago asked, what do you have planned for Christmas? For Christmas, I will be eating a hench roast dinner prepared by my mother-in-law, Oi Tip. And I will be playing with my dog Smirnoff and also sleeping. That's it. So there it is. Thanks again for watching my Ask Anything chat with Romeo and Most Requested Live. As I said, my new song with Bebe Rexha is called Harder. I'll see you out on the road soon. Love you guys.